What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I wanted to put a video up today. I want to start a new video series and call it something like Finally Fixed, something along those lines. Basically, I wanted to kind of start to maybe do a video series that was maybe like put a video out once a week or every couple of weeks as I come across things on the job that are some simple fixes and things that you can do around the house that could remedy some of your problems around the house. I had something that I was thinking about today. I had a spare shower valve that I had pulled out and wanted to kind of show you something that we have ran across in the past. And if you're a homeowner and you try to do this, it's probably not going to end well. You're going to wind up calling a contractor to come in and fix this. So there is a somewhat simple fix to taking care of this as a homeowner, and I just kind of wanted to show you if you are going to mess with this. Basically what we have is a Delta shower valve. This is one that came out that we actually wound up changing for this reason. Somebody tried to take it off, and we wound up having to change the valve out. But on Delta shower valves, there is this ring right here holds your cartridge assembly inside of the fixture. On some of these older ones, you actually have 3 tubes in the back. I don't know if you can see behind this body, there are 3 tubes that hold this whole front cartridge to the, I guess, cross diverter wherever your water comes in, and those tubes feed the water into the actual valve. I've ran into this before where they will not come off the ring. So if the basic time that this would happen is you're a homeowner, you want to change the trims and the handle and stuff on the front of the faucet, or maybe the cartridge isn't working properly, and so you go in, you turn the water off obviously before you start, and then the homeowner goes to try to take this ring off, which usually is only put on by hand or hand tight, and they start to twist this valve, and it will either twist or shear these tubes off in the back. Even on the ones that are hard mounted, you can run into an issue where you try to spin this too hard and you destroy your plumbing inside of the wall and wind up with a bigger problem, especially if you have CPVC or something else that's not held very firmly, or you break the valve loose in the wall. So I'm going to show you a simple fix of how we get these off and service them and take care of this issue. So hang with me, I'll put this in the vise and I'll show you what we do to take care of it. Alright everybody, so I got the valve mounted into the vise just as you would see it, basically mounted in the wall. I grabbed a spare valve and new cartridge off of my van just so that I could kind of demonstrate for you what exactly is happening and what we're going after. This is also a good example of what a new valve is going to look like that does not have the 3 tubes going into the mixing valve. The newer ones are a solid body, but also even if this ring becomes a problem on one of these type of fixtures and you start to twist it, your plumbing, depending on the type of plumbing you have, you could damage the plumbing inside the wall. So this will work for a newer cartridge also. The rings should only be put on about hand tight, because once the water's on, this ring will actually not come off because of water pressure. So the ring should spin off like this, and what you're generally trying to get after here is this cartridge. This is what you're usually having a problem with, or as you start to update the fixture, you may have to change this. So the cartridge is the functional part that allows the water to be mixed, and so you've got your hot and your cold side, and then it mixes inside of the valve. But when this ring will not come off, a lot of people damage the valve or the plumbing inside of the wall. So before you try to do anything, I would try to take it off by hand and maybe some slight pressure with a tool, but don't put much pressure on it. If it's not backing off, I would just go ahead and do what I'm going to show you, which is to very carefully cut the ring. So if you especially bleed your water down first, because like I said, water pressure will hold this body tight. So shut your house water down, open the valve, open a faucet nearby, and that should help take the pressure off. And then people would, you know, put not this large of a set of channel locks on it, but may start to put channel locks on it and try to really force this, and it's just going to wind up damaging the valve or damaging the plumbing inside of the wall. So what we typically do is, I'll zoom in on this a little bit. So you're going to take a hacksaw, maybe a Dremel, something, but you're going to be really careful when you start to cut into this valve. And just take your time with it. There's no hurry. It's going to take you a little bit to probably get a line made, especially if you have this valve still mounted into the wall. But I usually just take my time to cut through this ring. It's brass, so it will cut pretty easily. So now I've got the valve cut to where I can see the threads in the brass just barely. I have not cut into the body or cartridge, just through the ring, but I'm starting to see where the threads are actually in the ring. So I'm going to stop there and try to get the ring to split. So as you can see, the ring did split just then. Now I can probably take my channel locks, if it'll hold for me, or I may just have to get and that's your ring. So this will be the second part. You're going to try to get this cartridge out, which sometimes they can be stuck in there fairly well also. So as you can see, I got the ring off, the cartridge came out. It was a little thicker in the front, so I had to take my screwdriver and tap on it. The main thing is that you're just being gentle with it, that you're not damaging anything inside of the wall. But the cartridge did come out, and so what you would do is take this ring and this cartridge to your local plumbing house, and they will be able to match up and get you a new cartridge and a new ring. They sell these rings individually. I keep a handful on my van for this instance, but a newer cartridge will go right on the valve. The newer ring will thread right on the valve, and you will be back in business, versus putting too much pressure on it and shearing the tubes in the back of the valve. So there you go, everybody. Hopefully this helps you. That is one simple, easy way to try to change that shower valve. It is kind of one of those projects, though, that once you start, you're kind of committed to changing that valve. But if you take your time, you're delicate with the valve, you don't get in any rush cutting into it, you will not damage that valve in any way. You can see where I cut on the valve right here. I did not cut into it in any way, shape, or form. I didn't get into the threads of the valve. So just take your time. Hopefully this helps you. If that ring is stuck and you're not sure on which valve you have, I would absolutely go to cutting the ring off first and foremost, and not damaging the valve or the plumbing inside of the wall in any way. So we appreciate you being here. Hopefully this video helps you, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care and have a good day.